channel. I hope you all are doing really well. So today's video is one that I've never done on my channel. I kind of talk about mods from time to time. And in my last video, which was the K-Hippie mod video, I said, you know what, I need to do this like more often. Just kind of talk about mods that either haven't been like out in the public as often as like some of the bigger well-known mod creators are, or mods that people haven't talked about in quite some time, to give you just a fresh perspective or even an update on them. So I've got several mods here that I'm gonna go through. I tried to narrow it down to about 5, and that is very hard to do when it comes down to mods. But before we get into them, I want to talk to you guys about my live streams. I do live stream on my YouTube channel each and every week, so you are welcome to join me each and every week, usually around anywhere between 6:30 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I'm usually on live. I am consistently on like Fridays and Saturdays. If you want to join me around the time, sometime earlier in the day as well. But I do, or I'm trying to get to a point where I'm posting on like my TikTok or even on the YouTube. I can't think of the name of the page right now off the top of my head, but where I'll let you know when I am actually getting ready to go live. So I'm creating some things for TikTok to let you guys know when I'm going to go live. If you have TikTok, then you will be notified there as well. And then, of course, when you subscribe to my channel and set all of your notifications, you also will be notified when I'm going live. So just something to let you guys know. So if you don't see a lot of pre-recorded videos from me, that's because I'm literally live anywhere between 2 to 4 times a week, which I really enjoy. So come hang out with me, join me. Let's chit chat about a lot of things going on in the world, life, etc. It's really laid back, hence the name Casual Games, but it's really laid back, and I do talk about a lot of different things, from God to all kind of stuff going on in the world and even in other countries from time to time. Sim stuff, things that I've experienced. I even give build trips. I said trips, Lord, build tricks and tips and tricks on creating Sims, things like that. So here lately, I've been doing a lot of building on my lives, which I have found that a lot of people tend to like. So that's what I do the most of. However, that's not the reason for this video. I just want to make mention of it. So for those of you who prefer the pre-recorded versions, that's why you haven't seen any from me in the past 2 months, because for the past 2 months, I've been going live. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on into the first mod now that I've rambled enough. The very first mod is called the Auto Pause on Pie Menu mod. This is by Pancake One in Mizoriyuki, I believe is how you pronounce that. I might be saying that completely wrong, but as you can see on your screen, I have my 2 Sims here. You guys, if you've come to any of my lives, you may know Gemma Benincourt, and she has been doing her thing when I haven't been in the game actually playing with her. She's come a lot farther than what I even knew. But Gemma, and we got my girl here, Diamond Montero. This is a sim that I do play with a lot of times, like for when I'm testing my builds, but I've kind of been going between the both of them. So Gemma as well as Diamond are roommates now, and I'm going to be testing this out with you watching me here with them on screen. So basically, auto pause, it's paused right now, so it's to pause any interaction that I have. So there's some interactions that are going on right now, and so she's kind of chatting with Diamond. I know you probably may not hear that because my desktop audio is turned off just for the sake of this video. But Gemma's birthday is coming up from what it says here. We're going to ignore that for right now because I want to get them to, let's see, maybe make a meal together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Gemma. As you see, when I click on her, the game automatically pauses. So if you want to restart, in some cases, and this is one of the things I have noticed, in some cases it will auto restart. It just depends. And then in other forms, it may just automatically stay paused. And so you just have to hit play. So that's just something to keep in mind. So as you see that I have them paused here because now I want to maybe have her go and cook some food or something. So let's say I want to click on Diamond to have a conversation. So we're going to console Diamond about death. Again, it's going to pause. And then in this case, it auto started. I didn't have to click the play button for it to start back. So that is the auto pause pie menu feature by the Pancake One and Mizuyuki. I believe that's how I'm pronouncing how you pronounce that. I could be pronouncing that wrong. It's very simple, very basic. But the reason I really like it is because whenever you're trying to do something, and let's say you're trying to catch, your sim or whatever, maybe you're trying to take a photo. You know how the game will continually keep going, and maybe you might miss the sim you want to have the photo with, or maybe you do an action with. Like, I had one where I was trying to pick up the little lost toddler, and the toddler just kept going. I was trying to catch the little thing, the little toddler, and she just kept right on running, and I couldn't catch her. And I said, you know what, let me go ahead and download this, because it had come across my feed before, and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and download it. And I really do like it. Again, it just varies. Sometimes you have to hit the play button to start it back, and sometimes it will auto start. I'm not sure what action causes that. So the next mod that we're going to talk about is going to be the CheatsMaster mod by Arnie. I don't know if you haven't heard of Arnie, where you've been. If you've been living under a rock, don't worry, your girl is here to pull you out from underneath there. So the CheatsMaster mod is exactly what it is. So basically, it helps you to be able to cheat sims needs and etc without having to put in a bunch of codes like the testing cheats on, and then maybe bb.free bill etc. There is, or enable free bill, I'm sorry. There's a multitude of things that you can do with this mod, but I do use it for specific things. For example, cheating their needs or cheating their emotions, because I may need them to be in a certain mood for their work or for an activity that I need them to do, and I ain't got time for the game to decide when it wants to give that emotion. So this is one that you're going to probably use, if not every time you play this game, every so often that you do play. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to press the shift button, and then you're going to click on your sim. In this case, I'm going to click on Gemma, and then you're going to get the CheatsMaster. So if, let's say, for example, you just click on your sim, you're going to get just your basic pie menu, but you want to hit shift, because shift and then clicking on the sim, that'll give you the CheatsMaster. So this is what it pretty much looks like, and then you have more choices, and it's going to have some other things. Like, I have other mods that are within here, but for the most part, all of these are Arnie's, with the exception of that too. There's a few that are not Arnie's. So this first pie menu is definitely Arnie, and so you have pack cheats, so you can go here. I don't mess with that. Outfits and cast, yes. So let's say I want to modify my sim, but I don't feel like putting in the code, so I can do a full modification, meaning like you can do their walk, their traits, etc. Now if you were to modify and cast, it doesn't let you change those things once that sim is created. Whereas with the Arnie CheatsMaster, you can do that. If you modify and cast, you will get the full cast. You can change their walk, their traits, their name, gender, etc. You can add to the family, etc. So you can do that without having to put in a cheat. And that's one of the things I do love about it. And I do use that, especially when I need to change outfits. Like, Gemma's going to be getting married soon, which we'll talk about that probably in a live update for her. So I had to go in and cheat and add a wedding dress. The main ones I use, like I told you guys, are cheat emotion, cheat needs. If you want to cheat the career, you can do that too. I typically don't do that. So cheat emotion, which I really love, you can see you can make her flirty, you can just make her plain fine, energized, embarrassed, dazed, confident, angry, or bored. So if I click on confident, I could be just regular confident or very confident. We're gonna give her very confident. Let's say I want to go back in and I want to cheat an emotion, and I want to make her energized. I can make her just regularly energized, and you'll see down here that her emotions are changing. So that's one of the things that I do love. Like I said, the ones that I use the most are the emotions, the outfit and cast, and the cheat needs. So for example, with cheat needs, you see she needs to go to the restroom. She's hungry. So if I go to cheat needs, I can literally max her needs, or I can sorry, decay the needs. Now decay, to me, I feel like it takes longer, but I've already maxed needs, and so we're gonna keep them as is. And you can also disable your needs. So if you wanted to, once you push down shift and click on needs, you can disable the need decay, so then it stays max, especially if you don't have time to deal with certain needs depending upon your gameplay, like if you're maybe doing some storytelling. So this is the Arnie Cheat Master. It is very self-explanatory. Again, it's most likely one that you're going to get a good bit of use out of, and you're going to really truly enjoy it. So, next up, I want to talk to you guys about some gaming consoles. So, these gaming consoles are by Sir Sly Sims. In this file, there's a total, I believe, of five, and I think one is a decor piece, and the other four are functional, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, I apologize in advance. But as you see, I'm in build buy mode. I have one of the gaming consoles right here. So, you have the budget gaming console, you have the generations gaming console. You've got the high tech gaming console, and then you have the high tech V2 gaming console, which is this lovely tower here. The one that I have in game right now is the Generations one because it looks like the one from the Generations expansion pack from the Sims 3, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember what it looks like, but I put the budget one in there. So you have four. So I'm just going to take this one out. Let me jump back in game and let's see if we can get them to play or get one of them to play. Let me fast forward it here. All right, so she is playing, and one cool thing I like about these is that the color changes as they're actively playing. I don't know if it does it for all of them, but this one in the tower, I believe the color changes a different color so that you know that they're actively playing the game. So I think this is really cool and really nice. It adds a little bit of extra gameplay to it, just to give another level. To playing the game within the game, if that makes sense. So you're gaming within the game. So I really think this is a really cool idea, and it just gives you something more than the basic tower that you get. I do know that there's some other creators out there as well that have their own gameplay systems. I used to have another one that I was going to talk about, but for whatever reason, I don't think it's been updated. So I don't think that I can share that this time around, but hopefully next time I will be able to talk about it. Okay, so the very last mod I'm going to talk about, I was kind of trying to limit this to like five, but these are the ones that I can show you without having to like fast forward the game and make the Sims jump from location to location. So the very last one I'm going to talk about is going to be by Little Miss Sam. Now, listen, Little Miss Sam has a ton of mods, and I have a good bit of hers. So, you will hear me talk about Little Miss Sam a good bit, probably not just on like these pre recorded videos, but also in my lives as well, because I really like Little Miss Sam's mods. And between her, Arnie, and I'm trying to think of the Carl, they have some mods, and Sir Sims has some too. Wicked Whims, Wonderful Whims, you name it. They have created mods that just help gameplay just be so much more easier and functional. And I'm telling you, I could spend literally 2 or 3 videos talking about Little Miss Sam. But anyway, I digress. So this mod I'm going to talk about by Little Miss Sam is called Choose Leftover Pie Menu Alternative version. Okay, I know that's a mouthful, but basically it's to choose leftover. So you know how sometimes you will have a sim and they'll go and get their leftovers and they will choose whatever. Well, this mod makes it so that they choose a leftover that you actually select. So where it says get leftovers, you can select whatever is cooked in there, meatball tamale. So it lets you specify the leftover that you want them to get versus the game sending them in there to get whatever it wants them to get. One of the things that I saw someone else say is that when the game selects the sim or selects the leftover for the sim, it causes the sim to actually put on weight, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but if you see as I'm clicking through, like my pie menu is changing, a lot of these mods are by Little Miss Sam as well as Samik and Sarinka, which I'm gonna talk about them in another video because again, I could literally be there all day just talking about some of the food mods that they have. But I'm just gonna have her come over here and just grab something to eat. She doesn't really need anything because she literally is just too tired. She want to go to sleep. She don't even want the meatballs. Okay, she wants to go to bed, so we're gonna go ahead and send her to bed. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and me talking about these mods, and also just introducing you to something that you either may be familiar with or may not be familiar with. As always, you guys, please feel free to thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe because it's free. Again, join me here weekly with my live streams. Again, you can catch me between 6:30 to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely Saturdays and Sundays, and sometimes on, I guess, Mondays and Tuesdays. It just depends on how I feel. Please put your post notifications on so that you'll be alerted every time I do go live, because I do put a post up before the little live starts so that hey, she's getting ready to go live. So join me here each and every week for live streams as well as some pre-recorded videos. I really appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully you found this information useful. As always, be safe in the streets, be blessed, and I will talk to you guys in another video. Bye.